Good morning everybody, and welcome to another weekly video, a brighter weekly video, a journey living with Alzheimer's. And I think this is number 17, and this morning is a brighter morning, a better week, and yeah, I feel okay this morning. Now, about a fortnight ago, one of my colleagues on Dementia Help put a post up about people being diagnosed with young dementia, early onset dementia. And the numbers were quite phenomenal, quite staggering. And I wanted today to focus this video on living with young dementia and having a diagnosis, and the difficulties of coping with a diagnosis in the first instance, in the early days. Now, a diagnosis of dementia, which is a terminal disease, and which is no different from a diagnosis of any terminal disease, to be honest, can be a very difficult thing to try and come to terms with. It can be a difficult thing to accept, and I know this more than anybody, going through that very same thing, coming up for 3 years now ago. It was a very, very difficult place to be, and I suppose in the early days of having a diagnosis, things go through your mind, and I think, to begin with, I personally thought that my life was over, and I think that that's the same reaction that many other people have. Our lives are over, and we have this impression of people with dementia, with Alzheimer's, not having a very good quality of life, in care homes, and not being able to respond and not living well at all. But in actual fact, it couldn't really be, for me at this stage, further from the truth. Of course, it's not a good thing to be diagnosed, and of course nobody is under any illusions that it is a terminal disease, and we are all aware of the journey that we are on at this point in time until there is a cure. But I suppose, to begin with, I, like many others who are probably going through it now and have been through it, went through a very, very dark time, and I personally went to places where I don't think any person should have to go. But after a period of time, I came to the realization that my life actually wasn't over. My life was just different. My life had changed. But it was still a life that I could live. I still had plenty to give. I still had things that I wanted to achieve. I still had many things that I wanted to do. And I came to the idea that in actual fact I hadn't really got dementia. I was living with dementia, which is a different thing. Now, before this video today, I drew up a list. I drew up a list of all the things that dementia had taken away from me. And then I drew up another list of all the things that I had achieved since my diagnosis. And I came to realise, after comparing the two lists, that in actual fact I had probably taken as much, if not more, from dementia than it had taken from me. And that made me feel pretty good, because I was still achieving things, I was still doing things, I still had quality of life, I still had stuff that I wanted to give, like these videos and the talks I do. There were still many things I wanted to do. So I had taken from dementia, and that's a positive thing. That's a positive place to be. And I actually believe that my life is richer after having been diagnosed with dementia. I actually believe that my life is richer, not in the sense of money, monetary terms, because that's definitely not the case, but in the sense of achievements, in the sense of friends, in the sense of the things that I do and the things that I want to do, and the way that I look at life. So life in all is not too bad. It's dementia, having dementia, it's not, it is doable, it is livable. Now, there are many people out there who have been diagnosed early and are finding it difficult to come to terms with it, finding it a struggle. And you know, I'm nobody special. I'm just a normal bloke doing the normal stuff that people do. And I think that if I can lift myself, and if I can do these things, and I can live with dementia, then so can others, so can you. And I think the thing I want to say today is that I don't have dementia, and you don't have dementia. We live with dementia, and that's a different thing. Life is not over, it is just different. And if you try and find the ways around it, different is not all that bad. So all of you out there who are at the place where I was a couple of 3 years ago, you know, life is worth living. There's still plenty to do. Dementia is a journey, and you have to live that journey the best you can, rather than just not doing anything and believing that life is over. There are plenty of things that you can do, and have a good journey, because you know what, the journey could last a long while, and there's still lots to give and lots to do. Now I hope that today, if this little short video today has helped somebody come to terms with their diagnosis, and has helped somebody realise that, you know, they can still do things and life is still worth living, and there's plenty to give, then, you know, I have achieved something myself, and it has been, dare I say, worth it. So if this video has just helped one person, then it makes it all worthwhile, and I really do hope that that's the case. Have a great weekend, have a great week, and thank you so much for listening, and I'll look forward to talking to you all again next week. Bye bye.